My name is Rachel Sellers, and I'm one of two academic advisors for our marine biology program and for our coastal or our marine and coastal environmental science department. So once you guys get into the program and get a little bit more acquainted, once you're past your freshman year, you and I will become very close friends as I help you navigate our degree programs. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start today with Dr. Maria Miglietta. She's representing marine biology.
All right, hi everybody, welcome and good morning. I'm going to share my screen really quickly. And I have about 5 minutes to introduce the Department of Marine Biology. Okay, let me. So I'm not Daniel Rolke, but Daniel Rolke is the department head. I am Maria Pia Miglietta. I'm an associate professor in marine biology. I run a lab that works on Medaria and jellyfish, and the immortal jellyfish in particular. If you want to know more, do ask me questions after in the Q&A. And I teach genetics, okay? So I'm going to start introducing one of the greatest resources you will have, the faculty at the marine biology department. Those are the people that are going to be in the classroom teaching you, and I'm going to divide them by categories. There is a group of us, including myself, as you can see there, that work on floaters, jellyfish, viruses, algae, unicellular algae, and so forth. And so our expertise, as you will see, really is very wide, from viruses to very big mammals and vertebrates. We have a very big group working on fish and vertebrates. And within those, there is one group that works on reptiles and mammals. I'm going to point out Dr. Marshall that just opened up an hospital for sea turtles where they actually saved several turtles from the cold stand in these recent months. And Dr. Lene Pedersen, she works on even alligators. We have alligators in the sea life facility. She was carrying out experiments. And then we have a very big and very strong group that works on fishes, from sharks to, and I saw in the chat some people mentioning that they love sharks and fish. So we have a very strong group working on fish. We have some ecosystem specialists. We have some of the best and very strong experts on caves and wetlands. And then we have experts on different aspects of marine biology, from benthic communities and organisms that live on the bottom of the ocean to the coastal environment, to bioacoustics, understanding how mammals communicate in the water, and toxicology. So our expertise is wide, ranges really from viruses to whales, going from fruit jellyfish, copepods, and algae. In terms of disciplines, we're also very interdisciplinary. For example, I am work on genetics and genomics, but I also work on evolution. I'm an organismal biologist and an ecologist. And so we cover all those disciplines. They're very important as we bring this expertise in the classroom. And as you will see in a second, you also can be exposed to all these disciplines in the lab and work with one of us during your undergraduate years. So our expertise ranges from genes to ecosystem, from the smallest elements of the cell to the big and wide ecosystems. Let's talk a little bit about the degree programs that we offer. We have a degree in marine biology. We have one in marine fishery. We have a degree in marine biology with license option. And then we have the graduate school where we have master's students, thesis and non-thesis, and a PhD in marine biology as well. If you have questions on any of those degrees, we can chat more later. Now, all the students are in marine biology and in marine fishery, but also in marine sciences and in coastal environmental science and society. They all have a shared 1 year. So they're all together. being exposed to marine biology, oceanography, marine science, and they follow the same curriculum for the very first year. Okay. A word on our curriculum. Our curriculum is very broad, has a range of topics and expertise. We have a lot of hands-on learning. For example, my genetics course, we have lectures, traditional lectures, and then we have labs associated with the course. And that's common for almost every course out there. We have a lecture component and a laboratory component where you, the students, can work hands-on and do experiments. We have wonderful labs and wonderful classrooms, and the students have a very wide array of possibilities to work in the field and in the lab. And so each student can really tailor their education to their personal career goals. And so you can build up your course schedule depending on your interests. I'm going to give you an example briefly because I don't have much time, but you can ask me questions. We can go through this first year curriculum. This is the fall and the spring semester, and this is pretty much how it is going to look like. We have the chemistry, we have the math. You can choose in the first semester between ecology, English, and physiology. And then we have two amazing courses. One is Succeeding in Science, where all the students participate to field experience, and they also get to meet the faculty and they get to understand what each one of us does in the lab. And so there is also the breaking the ice with the professors in the department. And then we have another course, the Mars 289, where the students are introduced to marine biology and oceanography. So if you want to see more of this, share the first curriculum and ask me questions after the introductions. I'm going to mention that we have amazing field classes. Not only most of all the classes will have a field component, and so you're going to go in the field and collect animals and do experiments in the field, but there are just classes that are designed to be in the field. We have a course in Alaska during the summer. We have a SeaWorld experience that can be carried out also in the summer, both very popular. And we have some amazing opportunity to study abroad. Those are life-changing experiences where you can go in amazing places such as Mexico or Greece and study there and carry out a course there. And so those are amazing opportunities. That, of course, last year we didn't do any because of COVID, but we're going to start over again in the next years. One thing that I'm going to say that's very important, and we're very strong in this, all the students, all the undergraduates have the possibility to work with any of us. All the professors that I introduced to you, we have all labs and we work on projects. And so the students are highly encouraged to work with us. And they can enroll in research in one of those labs for credits. They can get up to 4 credit hours by working the lab. And you can carry your own experience, your own experiments. You're going to work with the faculty and with the graduate students. And so that's an amazing opportunity for our undergraduate. You also have internship opportunities. That means opportunities outside our own campus. You can work in aquaria, you can work in government agency, in some research labs, and have them count as credit hours toward your degree. During one semester, I had a student work on a veterinary clinic and using that as credit hours toward her degree. Finally, career, this is going to be my last slide, and then I'm going to let the other professors talk. What can you do with a degree in marine biology? You can do so much. You have a career, you can pursue a career as a field biologist, as an aquarist, as a fish observer, a species expert, a zookeeper, animal trainer, a teacher. We have also a teaching minor that you can enroll in, a game warden, and then you can go into graduate school. You can go into a master or a PhD, and that opens up many doors. And so this is just a brief overview, so we can talk more later, and I'm going to pass this to Rachel. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are now going to hear from Dr. Kyeong Park, the department head for marine sciences.
Yeah, welcome everyone. My name is Kyeong Park. I'm going to talk very briefly about the Department of Marine and Coastal Environmental Science, which was formerly the Department of Marine Sciences. We have a group of people, scientists, both physical and social, which makes us very unique among the marine science undergraduate programs. And then we are focusing on the physical and social processes operating in the marine environment with a very distinct focus on the coastal zone. When you say here the physical processes, that include the physical, chemical, and geological. So that our motto is that to find the problems to solutions in the coastal zone using the natural science as a compass and useful social policy as a map. And we offer the two Bachelor of Science degree. The first one is the BS in Marine Sciences, acronym MARS. This is a science degree program focusing on natural environmental processes operating in the marine environment. And this degree is available with a license option. Another is a Bachelor of Science in Coastal Environmental Science and Society, the acronym CSS. This was formerly the Ocean and Coastal Resources. This is another science degree, but focuses on both natural environmental processes and social issues like the policy, management, and the economics in the coastal environment. We, as the Maria just pointed out, we offer the first year common curriculum for all the incoming students into either one of these four bachelor degrees, MARS, CSS, MARV, and MARF. And then we offer the minors in the CSS, and also we administer the minor in geography, geology, and oceanography offered by the departments in College Station. And then we offer the GIS certificate currently for graduate students only, but we are planning to have an equivalent one for undergraduate students. You may not be familiar with what the GIS means. It's Geographical Information System. That's a very powerful tool nowadays which is almost indispensable for you to become successful, competitive in natural science. To talk a little bit more about the first year common curriculum, for all the incoming students, in addition to the basic science courses in chemistry and math and physics, we ask those students to take two courses taught by the MCS and Marine Biology Department. One is the Earth and Ocean Science. That's an introductory course for the ocean science in general, of course, including the marine biology and other aspects. And then another one is a Succeeding in Science. This is an introductory course that exposes you to all the varieties that both departments are offering. So that this we're going to have the lab tour for the number of the faculty members in two departments, and you're going to have a chance to get to know the faculty and their graduate students in two departments. About the undergraduate research experience, for both undergraduate degree programs that we are offering, the students are required to do a research project as a part of Mars 491 in order to be qualified to get your degree. So it is not the optional, it is a mandatory. And then we provide the ample opportunities for you to get involved in research with any of our faculty members. And we offer the one master degree, Master of Marine Resource Management. This is about the management of coastal and marine resources. And we offer both the thesis and non-thesis. And this MOM master degree program is available as a 5-year program with the CSS that I just talked about. So if you are interested in this 5-year program, if you decide upon your mind quickly, then in 5 years, you can get one bachelor degree in CSS and one master degree in MOM. And we offer one PhD in Marine and Coastal Management and Science. This is a highly multidisciplinary program to teach the techniques for coastal management, geospatial analysis, human impacts on coastal areas, and natural technological hazards, and etc., like the coastal resiliency. This is a kind of new, we started to offer this PhD program starting from the fall of 2020. And my faculty, including myself, we get involved in teaching, advising graduate students, master and PhD in other programs, such as oceanography, marine biology, and landscape, LAUP, landscape in urban and urban planning in college station. And again, that the GIS certificate program for graduate students here. Like marine biology, we offer a number of the study abroad or field opportunities. One is that we bring about 14 students every year to Netherlands as a part of the storm surge barrier system. And we are offering one study abroad course in tropical coastal seas in Belize. And as a part of the geology course, we have some about 3 or 4 day field experience in the western part of the Texas. And we have a faculty who has been ongoing research in Bahamas. So he's taking several students every year to the Bahamas during the summer. And for talking about the faculty who will be teaching all these courses and interacting with you, currently we have 15 full-time faculty and 4 full-time faculty associated with the foundational sciences with the joint appointment. And we have about 5 to 6 part-time lecturers and 13 research scientists currently. And we are in the middle of the searching a new faculty in the geological and general marine science. And we plan to start the search for 2 additional faculty members in the coming fall. We have a very world-renowned faculty. They can be broadly grouped into 4 areas of expertise, but with a really considerable overlap. The first group is the biogeochemistry and chemical marine science, and marine geosciences, physical marine science, and social marine science, affiliated with the state-mandated agencies called the CTBS, Center for Texas Beaches and Shoals, and Institute for Disaster Resilient Texas. If you Google IDRT, you're going to see many of these. This was one of the Texas state government initiated institute following the Hurricane Harvey. And we have the Rainer Amon, Carl Kaiser, Patrick, and Peter. They are in the chemical marine science. We have Tim Delapina, Pete Van Anston. He's teaching the earth and ocean science. And Charles Corman for marine geosciences. We have Ayel and me in physical marine science. We have the Sam, Mary, Wes, Bill, and David Ashley for the social marine sciences. And all of them are, except Charles. Charles is the instructional faculty, but all the other faculty members are running very active research programs. For career information, we have a good number of students are joining the energy sector, the oil and gas companies, and then another 26% in some environmental consulting and hydrographic company working with oil and gas, and about 16% moving on to the graduate school, and about 19% getting a job in government, 17% in another private sector, but still mainly related to marine science. And we have some NGOs and education, about 6%. This pie is going to get bigger as we start to offer the teacher certificate program, which you're going to allow you to become a high school science teacher. And then where we are here at the Ocean and Coastal Science Building, the building called 3029. We are on the 3rd floor. This is our website address. I strongly encourage you to check it out if you're interested in our department. And then we have 2 wonderful undergraduate academic advisors shared with the marine biology, Rachel Ball and Rachel Sellers. You already met the Rachel Sellers. They are, you get to know them very closely if you ever get into either one of these 2 departments. And then again, this is our website. This is my name. This is my email address. I have so many more to talk that I like to talk to you. So if you have any questions in my department, feel free to send me an email, then I'm happy to talk with you.
Thank you, Dr. Park. Okay, we are now going to hear from Dr. Ulloa.
All right. Can you see my slides? All right, great. Okay, so as Rachel said, I'm Dr. Ulloa. I teach chemistry and foundational sciences. And foundational sciences is a department that houses chemistry, physics, and mathematics at the Galveston campus. And we administer our Oceans in One Health degree program. So while you might be marine biology or marine science, we will still consider you our students because you will still take our classes on your first year at the university, and maybe even throughout your whole career at the university. Okay, so what is the Oceans in One Health? So we believe that the health of the ocean has an impact on human health and animal health. So this is a multidisciplinary initiative. And this program, Oceans in One Health, is really geared for students who want to be in a health field, like becoming a doctor, a veterinarian, or some other type of health scientist. We have a degree for you. And I'll also talk about how our department can help you if you are a marine biologist or a marine scientist and not in our degree program. But let me talk briefly about our 2 degree programs. So our main degree program is actually called a Bachelor's in University Studies with a concentrations in Oceans in One Health. So a university studies degree is like a build your own degree. In this case, it's with the concentration of Oceans in One Health is targeting students that are interested in pre-health fields. But there are other university studies degrees. So along with your Oceans in One Health concentration, that will get you prepared for medical, dental, veterinary, or to go right into a job once you have the bachelor's. This degree is often seen as a pre-health degree, but it doesn't have to be. You can definitely get a job right out of college with an Oceans in One Health USGA bachelor's. But in order to have enough credits to earn a bachelor's, you actually have to pick 2 minors or another concentration. And I'll talk about our minors. You won't end up taking more credits than if you did marine biology or marine scientist or MARA or any of the other degrees. But you get to build your own major by picking the minors that better suit your needs. And if you're interested in doing a clinical lab science minor or a clinical lab science master's, we have a degree program for that. It's a joint program with UTMB, which is a hospital right on Galveston. So it's an accelerated degree track. After 5 years, you will have earned a master's and your bachelor's. So where can you go with this degree? Either just the bachelor's or the master's. You could go to medical school, you could go to vet school. Dr. Miglietta briefly mentioned if you wanted to become a veterinarian, you would have to take some extra courses. And we offer on our campus the courses that you need to qualify for both medical school, vet school, dental school. You can of course go on to do a graduate program. And I mentioned the master's degree in clinical laboratory sciences. So a clinical laboratory scientist, if somebody you know were to go take a COVID test, for example, they get a cheek swab and that's sent out to a laboratory. So a laboratory scientist might run that test to determine what biomolecules are in that sample. Optometry, physician's assistant school, and there's a little asterisk here because for that we don't offer all of the classes on our campus, but for all the other degrees you can complete all of the requirements without leaving Galveston. Environmental science jobs and multiple laboratory jobs that you would definitely qualify for right out of college. So here's a list of all of our minors. The clinical laboratory scientist that's in partnership with UTMB. Our most popular minor is by far the chemistry minor, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. We have a minor in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, which is a teaching certificate. And that minor is jointly with marine biology, so there's definitely a lot of overlap. A minor in mathematics. And with your USAC degree with your Oceans and One Health concentration, you can pick any two of these minors. Here, these are minors that are offered at our university, our Galveston campus: geology, economics, marine biology, etc., to build your own degree. So maybe you're more interested in maritime administration. In addition to becoming a doctor, you might choose to do a minor that's in the marine administrations, or what's it called now? MARA, MBA. They changed the acronym and I'm having a hard time remembering it right now, but it's a business minor. So I just want to talk briefly about the chemistry minor, not just because I'm a chemistry professor and that's where my heart lies, but because it is our most popular minor. And I know many of you are considering marine biology in marine sciences, and you might be wondering, well, can I get my bachelor's in marine biology or marine sciences and still take the classes that would qualify me for medical school or veterinary school? And the answer is yes. And with a chemistry minor, that becomes really straightforward. So if you take any pictures, go ahead and take a picture of this flyer here, your marine biology, marine scientist. With a chemistry minor, you're better qualified for any of these jobs. You will take the prerequisites for medical, veterinary school. And if you are doing a bachelor's in marine biology, you would do your bachelor's and you would have to take 1 more chemistry lab and 3 more chemistry lectures. We would advise you on what to do, but you don't have to be in Oceans and One Health to get those prerequisites. If you're in marine sciences, you just have to declare a chemistry track, or you can do our Oceans and One Health bachelor's. Dr. Park and Dr. Miglietta mentioned that the first year looks the same for both of their degrees, and you will be in all of our classes for foundational sciences your first year. Your second and third year starts to look different. With a chemistry minor or an Oceans and One Health, you get to choose from these extra courses, chemistry courses that you wouldn't see, like green chemistry that I teach, polymer, nuclear, physical. Nuclear is actually taught by a professor in marine sciences, so there's a lot of overlap between the 3 departments here. I'm happy to answer any specific questions about any of these degree programs. Here is my email address at the bottom. This is our department head, Dr. Melanie Moser, and she actually has, I believe, a joint appointment with marine sciences. So she can also answer any questions. I will stick around. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. And just let me know.
Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, I have been frantically trying to answer you guys in the chat, but we are now going to open up the floor for questions and answers of our 3 representatives. So if you just want to raise your hand, unmute yourself, ask your question, now is the time. We have about 30 minutes, and I'm gonna try to keep you guys in order. I promise I see you and we will get to your question as best as we can. Okay. Alexandra, if you want to go ahead, I see you with your hand up.
Hi, sorry, I am also babysitting this morning, so I've been trying to do this on my phone also, but I think I have a question pertaining to the MARM, I guess it's called. My basic question is that I have a master's in social work. I'm a licensed social worker in Texas, and I'm interested in researching the impact of ocean health, ocean resources on persons who sustainably fish and are really dependent on the ocean. So would this be a good program to pursue instead of a PhD in social work per se?
Alexandra, that question is for me, but you got frozen a few times. I didn't hear your question fully. But what I can tell you based upon what I heard is that in order to give you more accurate the answer, I really need to see your transcript and then discuss with my program coordinator who's organizing and administering the MOM degree and then the MCMS PhD degree programs. So if you like, please contact me through an email, and then send me your. It doesn't have to be official. If you send me your transcripts, then we can get back to you. I will get back to you after consulting with my program coordinators. And in that email, if you can include some more specific questions, that would be even more helpful.
Awesome. I will definitely do that.
Does
Thank
that
you so
answer your
much.
question?
Yeah, it does. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Zachary, I see your hand up.
So I have two questions. My first one is about one of y'all mentioned internships. I believe it was Dr. Park. What would those internships be like?
It was mentioned by the Dr. Miglietta, but I like to give you my version of the answer first, and then I will ask Maria to add more. The internship comes in any fashion, in any mode. It highly depends upon the person or the institute that likes to hire you as an intern. Sometimes it can be sometimes you can get compensated. Sometimes that it is kind of pro bono. You do not get compensated. So that throughout the year, we constantly receive the request from the outside world, looking for some students who are interested in helping their work out. Then we connect our students to them. And then we have the career office here at the Galveston campus. They do the same thing. Based upon my past 7 years experience at the Galveston campus, I do not feel like that we ever have any shortage of the internship opportunities. So the bottleneck would be the interest and the willingness coming from the student side. And as I said, that it is a very diverse, and it can be in any field related to your major, of course. Maria?
Yeah, I agree. As I mentioned, I had a student working in a veterinary clinic, and then I was the on-campus advisor, and so she was getting credits for work in the veterinary clinic. I think there are students that work at the Moody Gardens, at the aquarium there. So you can have opportunities. There are, and I think Rachel can. I think we have a list of internships that are generally available. We have plenty, and so maybe Rachel can add some more to the ones that we have mentioned so far. But usually you can go outside the campus, work somewhere, and get credits through an advisor on campus. Okay. Rachel, do you want to add anything else on that?
Yeah, I'll jump in there and add. So we have two different types of internship credits that we allow for, or that you can take for credit through the university. But you can also do volunteer internships and things like that and receive 0 credit hours, but it still will be listed on your CV at the end of the day, which is still building your resume. We have a lot of on-campus internships where you're working directly with a professor, potentially volunteering in their lab. But then, like Dr. Park and Dr. Miglietta have mentioned, you can go off campus. So say you applied for an internship with Texas Parks and Wildlife. You're working with them over the summer. You would have a faculty sponsor on campus just to kind of touch base with, so that they would know what your project was and what you were working on, and you can still receive credit for that through the university. So, but it ultimately, like, I do have a huge notebook of internships that are all over America, all over the world, which is usually where I tell students to kind of start. It's just like Googling your interests and internships. And then from there, you and I, or Rachel Ball and you, will work to getting all of your paperwork done.
Okay. And then I also have another question.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, what would it take, or what courses will you take for like getting a license in scuba diving?
So we do offer scuba classes. That's not, this was a question in the chat earlier, is scuba required for marine biology? And it is not, because not everybody that goes into marine biology wants to be under the water. So we do offer a minor in diving technologies and methods, which is a 16-hour minor. And if you've had any experience in the water, you can jump right into that minor from the level that you have experience. So say you've gotten your open water license, we would then jump you into your advanced license, and you can work all the way up through that. We offer some technical dive classes, scientific diving, a dive master course, and I believe you guys will get to actually have a conversation with the dive department later. And they'll probably have a much better answer to this question, but it's not required, but it is there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Cooper, go ahead.
Hi, I was wondering if you could explain what a license option in marine biology meant.
Okay, so license option, since we are a maritime school and we do have the Corps of Cadets here, license option just means that you will graduate with a Bachelor's of Science in Marine Biology, and you will graduate as a licensed third mate for unlimited tonnage ships. So you would simultaneously go through the Bachelor's of Science program for MARB, as well as going through the technical program of getting your shipping experience and passing your Coast Guard license. There's a 30-hour difference between the two programs. So just your 4-year marine biology degree is 120 hours. For the licensing option, it's 150. You would have to join the Corps of Cadets and complete their required curriculum for you. But it's a great program. It kind of merges and bridges the gap from technicality and logistics of shipping into the marine biology and the science world of it. So if it's something that you're interested in, it's definitely a program that I encourage people to look into.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to address a couple questions that we have in the chat, just because, so I don't type and there's a bunch of awkward silence. What jobs are the March graduates coming out with this year? So Kim, I believe you had asked earlier too, is how many graduates we had. Off the top of my head, I don't have an exact number for how many graduates we had over this year, but I know it's a couple hundred. The marine biology department is the biggest, or the second, like we're the biggest department on campus, right behind engineering. So we usually have the most graduates, and it's a couple hundred. It is not a large campus. We're averaging at like just under 3,000 students. What jobs are people coming out with with the senior?
Rachel, is that just me, but you're frozen?
Yes, Rachel's frozen.
So while she's trying to get back,
I'm back.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hear me now? Am I here?
Yes.
Okay. Where did I cut off?
When you started talking about the jobs.
Okay.
Right there.
That was only like 2 minutes of talking. It's fine. I looked down and you all had frozen and I was like, oh, great. I'm not even here. Okay. Anyway, so with our jobs, from the seniors that I've heard back from, there's a lot right now that are going into field work that aren't necessarily going into fisheries. I've heard from a bunch that have gone into wildlife and game. This year, there are students that have moved on to work in hatcheries. A lot that have joined the Observer program up in Alaska and off the coast of California, as well as we had a lot of students go straight into master's programs or into vet school or med school. So it's really, really varied. Yes, Dr. Park.
Can I add? Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to add the one more thing onto it. The year 2020 was not a typical year at all. You know, the stretch, and then so many people were laid off, so that the many organizations, they did not hire any new employees. They were just, it was just difficult for them to hold on to what they had. So that if you get any data or any perspectives from the employment of the 2020 graduates, that would not be a typical or reliable data for any of the degree programs. So if you like, then I would suggest to you to go back several more years and then take a look at the employment of the graduates. The marine science is a very highly multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. And then also that we always think that we are training the data analysts. So that the marine science, by definition, we are handling very large data. And then we trying to analyze the data, make some sense out of the data. Data by themselves are nothing more than a collection of numbers. It is us to provide any meaning onto the data. So that because of that nature, we feel like, and we hope the students to have as much confidence as we have, that once you go through our curriculum, we feel like that you are capable of handling any large data in any field. So that I always personally suggest to my students that not to limit yourself when you are looking for a job. For 2020 in particular, whenever the job market is gloomy and then not promising, more students are entering the graduate students. It's a national worldwide trend whenever we are getting into the depression. So that we had many more students entering the graduate school, which reflects that the job market is not as good.
Can I interject there? I also want to add, Rachel was talking about where some of the recent graduates have gone. If you ever want to try your hand at working in a laboratory for a job that you can do right out of your undergraduate, you might consider working in our chemistry labs. Our chemistry labs are staffed by sophomore students. Many of them are marine biology, marine sciences. You don't have to declare anything to do that. You just have to do well in your freshman chemistry courses. And multiple of the students who start working in our laboratories go on to work in clinical laboratories after they graduate because they enjoy doing that, or they might find that chemistry is really more what they were looking for rather than the degree they started out with. And it's extremely easy to add courses. Well, I don't want to say extremely easy. Let me not oversell that. It is possible to move between degrees and change your degree early on. So I'm seeing a lot of students saying, I don't know what I want to do. Don't be afraid thinking that you're going to start out having made the decisions for the rest of your degree and then not have the flexibility, because the first year courses are all going to be the same for whatever degree you choose. They're going to be your Chem 119, your math, depending on your math placement exam. And if your spring semester you decide this was not for me, this looks more like it's the best, you're not going to be behind or anything. So don't be afraid to just ask a lot of questions in the classes you are, ask a lot of questions to the different professors, and find what you really want to do, what you really want to fall in love with or can fall in love with.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I didn't realize I had my mic on. So if you guys heard me frantically typing that entire time, I'm so sorry. Danielle, yes, ma'am.
Okay. My question is, will we be able to travel to different water environments in marine biology?
I can jump in on this. Yes, there are field components to many courses, and so you will go on a boat to do plankton tows, or you can go in the marshes to do sampling. There are caves, and there are students that explore caves. So you will have the opportunity to go offshore on the coastline, on a boat, on the marshes to sample. Each course will have, most of the courses have a field component, and you will be able to explore that. There will be many opportunities. There is, I think, even a bird watching course where you can go out and observe the birds in the coastal communities. So there will be plenty of chances for you to go in the field. And if you join a lab and you work with graduate students on a project, then there is also the chance to go and collect. In my lab, we can go out and get jellyfish, or we go out, you can go kayaking on the coastline, or we can go on the shore and get a plankton tow. So you will be exposed to different sampling procedures, different environments, different organisms, as much as you like.
Okay, sounds interesting. You know, I love traveling.
We have also our courses abroad and the courses in the field, like Alaska. I was mentioning, we have a course in Mexico, and there are other opportunities with the other departments as well. And those are really life-changing experiences, because you're in a different environment doing science, full immersion for a long time, for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, and it's really a unique experience that can change you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Gabrielle.
Hi, I have a question about your NRTC program. That's how I found you guys, is through NRTC. And I want to know like how that will correlate into my studies here when I decide to major, and like and what are your requirements for your scholarship for NRTC?
So those are fantastic questions that unfortunately I do not have the answer to, but I'm gonna message you in the chat and I can give you the info of the offices for who to contact. You would want, for NROTC questions, you're going to want to reach out to our Maritime Academy advisor. His name is Theo Moody. And for scholarship questions, you will want to reach out to our financial aid offices. I just don't have that information, unfortunately. I focus on the marine science stuff, but I will send you their contact so that you can reach out to them. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
And anyone else who has NROTC questions, if you would just message me directly in the chat, I'll get you that information as well. Yes, Zachary.
I have a question about that math placement exam. And that is, I'm currently in my last semester at Tyler Junior College, and then I'll be transferring. And while going through all of my stuff for transferring, it's said that freshmen have to take it unless transferring, where you may or may not have to. How would I know if I qualify to take it or not?
So if, all right, very quickly, just for everybody, general, for specific advising questions, these will be addressed during your advisor sessions. Or if you want to schedule a time to talk to myself or Rachel Ball, I will put our emails in the chat for everybody. And I know that she and I are both willing to talk to you about your transfer courses on a case-by-case basis, because it is so specific to the individual. But general rule of thumb is that if you've had a pre-calculus class or a calculus class or a trig class, Those will transfer in high enough for our programs. We do require 8 hours of math, which is different than the state minimum of 6 hours. So if you transfer in with those courses, you usually don't have to do the math placement test because we already know where you're going or your math is complete. If you've just taken like a college algebra or a business math or anything like that, it is recommended to take the math placement exam so we know whether to start you on the calculus for biological sciences track or our engineering math track.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, there is a question in the chat that says, how can we schedule an advising session? Again, I'm about to post our emails. If you send myself or Rachel Ball an email, we can definitely work with you to get a advising session scheduled. We are working completely virtually right now. So all of our advising sessions are through Zoom, makes it super easy. If you're interested in coming to campus, I can even point you in the direction to getting a appointment scheduled to tour the campus. So just let us know. But our emails are in the chat. I'm sellers@tamug and Rachel is ballr@tamug. And another question that just popped up, would our first advising session be after our new student conference? Your first advising session, once you're officially, like your first official advising session, takes place at your new student conference. And your new student conference is where you would be registered for your first semester of classes. Just Angela. All right, let me see if there's...
That does not prevent you from sending emails to the Rachels or any of us. Yeah. Before the student conference.
Yeah,
so,
you do not have to wait until your new student conference. Rachel and I are here at your discretion and to help you because we're going to be with you from day one. Yes, Fernanda.
So, adding to that MPE, if you're a freshman, you have to take it, right? I took pre-cal and I'm taking calculus right now.
So for you, again, like I said, it's really going to be on a case-by-case basis. And once we take a look at your transcripts, I'll better be able to give you the answer to that question.
It'd be better to email in order to, because I already signed up, but I'm so confused on it.
Yeah, if you're really confused about the process, shoot me an email and let's get something scheduled so we can walk through those details. Okay, a couple other questions in the chat. Madison had said, well, we need to have an understanding of computer science for labs. No, just in a very general sense, no, not really. We do have a couple of classes that involve using specific computer programs, but you don't have to know anything about computer science. Let's see. Nicole, I believe that's how you pronounce your name, transferring in with nearly junior status. Will you be able to go into undergrad research? Usually we tell students, get your first semester done, if not your first year done on our campus. And as soon as you feel comfortable meeting with professors and talking with professors, you are more than welcome to reach out about research opportunities. Usually
There's a really cool class that Dr. Labonte teaches. I think it's called Research for Freshmen. That might not be the name. Sounds like a really fun class. You might check it out.
I think it's been a little bit since she taught that one, but I know it's not on this. It's not on the schedule for the next like year or so.
I see. Okay.
Keep an eye out on it. Okay, let's see. I'm just running through some other ones. Somebody had asked, Paige had asked, how can we schedule an advising session? Again, just email me. It's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm just trying to make sure we haven't skipped over anybody.
If you are interested in Oceans and One Health, you can email me directly. I can put my or if you're interested in a minor, the STEM minor, the chemistry minor, or just making sure you can have the correct credits to go to, if you want to go to veterinary school, but you don't want to do MARB or MARS or something like that, you can email me as well.
Perfect, thank you. Somebody, Hernanda had also put in here, what does it take to do the course in Mexico? Are you talking about our, what's the word, tropical marine ecology class? It's a dive class in Mexico. This one, you just have to have certain scuba certifications and I believe be a junior credit hour wise. All I know is currently we don't have that class being offered, but it's going to be a really good class question to ask the dive department later today. Okay. Is there an MPE difference in marine, in biology and engineering majors? Andrea, no, everybody takes the same math placement exam. And then let me hunt down our NROTC information and I'll put that in the chat as well. We have about 2 minutes left. So if anyone has any final questions, now is the time. And with that, if you're ready to kind of head out of the room, you are more than welcome to get ready for your next session. But thank you guys so much for coming. These have all been fantastic questions. And if there's anything else we can help with, just reach out and let us know.
Just one more thing. I saw in the chat box that more than several of you are interested in the management and policy. One of the sessions after this session is called Coastal Resilience. Let me try to find it. Coastal Resilience, Living in the Eye of the Storm. This session will be presented by the Sam Brody. He is one of my faculty who's working on the management and policy. So you may like to attend that session after this series of sessions.
It was nice meeting you all. Hope to see you on campus.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, feel free to contact us.
We can just email.
Okay, that is the email for Theo Moody. He's our MART advisor, which is marine transportation, but he's the one that handles all of our maritime students. And then let me grab that financial aid email for you.
Jillian, you can definitely start with majoring in marine biology and then from there branch off if you need to.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons that we are offering the first year common curriculum, so that regardless of the major that you are entering into, you take exactly the same courses, and so that be more knowledgeable about the subtle differences among different degree programs, so that you can, we hope that you to be able to make a little better informed decision after the first year common curriculum.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. That scholarships and financial aid information is in the chat now as well. And feel free to email me if anything else comes up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to close down this room. Thank you so much. Dr. Ulloa, Miglietta, and Park, thank you guys. Have a wonderful
Bye,
rest of the day.
everybody.
Bye-bye.